In Baghdad, there lived a girl named Layla. She was very self-conscious about a big scar on one of her eyebrows, which she got when she was a child. Whenever she accidentally saw herself in a mirror, she quickly looked away. To her, the scar looked much bigger than it actually was. She didn't use to see herself in the mirrors or reflections. As she got older, she liked spending more time alone in the garden, but she stayed kind and friendly to everyone. Once, a wealthy young man named Hashim was visiting Layla's neighbors in the house next door. As Hashim was climbing up the trees, looking for birds' nest, he saw Layla in the garden below, separated by a wall. She was busy stitching embroidery and humming to herself. He was so captivated by the young woman who moved with grace and had a beautiful voice. He was so lost in admiration that he almost fell from the tree branches. Coincidentally, Layla was sitting with her friend, side-facing him, and Hashim felt she was a perfect match for him. He quickly climbed down from the tree and told his parents, "I have found the one I want to marry," Hashim declared excitedly. "Let's contact the matchmaker right away." And so, the matchmaker was called, and after the usual discussions about gifts and arrangements, the matchmaker requested everyone to leave the room. "I need a moment alone with the young man," she said. "Hashim," the matchmaker began, "as you are aware, the young woman comes from a respectable family and possesses the elegance of a princess. However, there is something you may not be aware of, something you should know about, a flaw to her beauty." "I have seen her with my own eyes," Hashim exclaimed. "I will not hear you speak of any flaw of her." And so, the wedding preparations began. Soon, the day of the ceremony arrived. Layla's garden had never looked more beautiful, with fresh flowers from the stone wall to the top of the trees. However, as Layla stood in her wedding attire, she felt uneasy. In the moments just before the ceremony started, she nervously turned to her mother. "Are you sure?" the matchmaker told him. Layla asked her mother, filled with uncertainty. "Yes, my dear," her mother said. "I have told you many times that he knows about your eyebrow, but it doesn't bother him at all." Her mother adjusted Layla's wool with care. However, as Layla observed her future husband Hashim laughing and conversing with the guest, she worried. If he was truly informed, why wouldn't he at least attempt to sneak a look at me to catch a glimpse of the scar under my veil? Why does he appear completely unaware of it? After the wedding ceremony, when they were finally alone, the new husband gently lifted his bride's veil. It's understandable that he was taken aback when he saw her eyebrow for the first time. Layla noticed the surprise on her husband's face, so she said, "My dear husband, didn't the matchmaker inform you about my imperfect eyebrow?" The young man remained silent, so she continued. Layla explained, when I was a little girl, my family was on a journey to visit friends far away. I was playing in their garden when a little boy accidentally threw a heavy stone. I am certain he didn't mean to harm me, but it struck me on the forehead, causing this scar you now see. I am sorry that I cannot come perfect to you, my husband. My dear bride. Hashim finally spoke. What was the name of that little boy who threw the stone? Layla replied sadly, I am afraid I do not know. He was just a guest there, much like me. Was the garden where you were playing belong to the Suleiman family in the city Basra? Hashim whispered. How did you know that? Layla asked in surprise. Because I was that boy, Hashim confessed. My parents have told me the story of how I once accidentally threw a stone and injured a little girl in the Suleiman family's garden. He continued, it seems fate has brought us together in marriage, allowing me the chance to make amends for the harm I caused, and now I know exactly what I must do. He called for the best black ink and a very thin brush. With that brush and ink, he carefully drew a new eyebrow over the scar. This new eyebrow was thin and curved. It looked so much like Layla's other perfect eyebrow that nobody could tell the difference. For many happy years that the two lovers spent together. Every morning Hashim would paint a new, graceful eyebrow over the scar he had caused. This act of love continued, and they both lived their lives in complete happiness.